Rural America has a drug problem. Methamphetamines took hold in southeast Missouri decades ago and have triggered a cycle of addiction that persists to this day.
Locally produced methamphetamine took hold here in the late 80s, snaring generations of residents like Dustin Siebert.
Started using methamphetamine at 18, 19 years old, and I'd say within 4 or 5 months I was helping other people manufacture it. It completely took over my life like it does just about everybody else in this area.
Siebert, who says he's been off meth 4 years, maintains that many here aren't. Dustin Siebert says meth use in Culin dipped early this decade when law enforcement cut off access to key ingredients like Sudafed and cold pills. But he says that's when opioids took hold here.
And then now that they're hammering down on the opiates, guess what's happening? Now the meth is coming back in.
Meth no longer comes from small local home labs. Poplar Bluff Police Chief Danny Whiteley says at the peak of the last meth crisis, he was busting 3 or 4 meth labs a week. Fatal meth overdoses are actually on the rise, but the damage to meth users' brains, teeth, and hearts is often cumulative over years. Meth isn't killing young people in the numbers that opioids are, and so gets less attention. And unlike with opioids, there's no substitute medication that clinicians can use to wean people off meth. The problem isn't so much a lack of treatment as it is the stigma attached to drug addiction and mental illness. And Dustin Siebert says law enforcement is almost completely ineffective against the problem.
The problem is the addiction, and it doesn't matter until they figure out why people want to get high and use drugs. It's always going to be something else.
Siebert thinks he has a solution.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Matthew 25 project. I think everybody's been here before.
About 12.5 people are here on a Thursday night in a stark white room in Quinlan's First Assembly Church of God. Many of those sitting at long white folding tables are fresh off meth addiction. Some are still taking the drug and visibly agitated. Others are here just to support their kids or neighbors. Siebert's is just one of many faith-based meth support groups that he says have sprung up in southeast Missouri.
But I honestly believe that God intends for us to be an addict. It's just not addicted to the things of this world. We're supposed to be addicted to Him and the things of God and the things of the kingdom.
You've got kind of what DA said, everybody's got an addictive personality, whether you can be addicted to Jesus just as much as you can drugs.
That's Logan Stowe. Like many in southeast Missouri, he struggles to stay off methamphetamine, even as the drug gets stronger, cheaper, and ever more available nationwide. For KCUR 89.3, I'm Frank Morris.